Guys, got a lot to discuss here. So normally do these on Sunday, but we were away in Cleveland for Guncon, the event. It's a yearly event that we go to. Been there for 3 years, and it's always a really good event. There's some events that you go to that are like, like you don't even really want to go. Sometimes they're pretty boring. But this is a really good event. Really enjoy Guncon. The people that put it together, Cody and John. Cody works over at Brownells, great guy, and John, they got Gun Collective. Did a really good job setting everything up. There were some things that happened at the event that was out of their control that unfortunately threw a monkey wrench into some things that again was out of their control. The three of the actual panelists, because what they do is they have a panel of people that'll sit up there and they'll discuss things, and everybody in the crowd can ask questions, and the live stream can ask questions from there. And three of the people actually got kicked out of the venue, weren't allowed to be there, and that wasn't due to John or Cody or anybody there. It was due to the company that they leased the building from. And we're going to be going over all these details in this video, breaking all that down, along with all the other stuff that happened. And that's not even everything. I don't even know everything that happened. So John and Cody did a really good job of keeping everybody kind of not out of the loop in the sense of like a negative, but they wanted everyone to enjoy the show. So they tried to handle everything on their own and keep, the balance, let everybody enjoy the show while they were trying to keep everything, all the cluster. The city got involved. The fire marshals were out there. It was very targeted, and you could tell that. And that was what the biggest frustration about it was, is I know Cleveland hosts a lot of events. I've been to events in Cleveland. I'm in Ohio. I go to Cleveland for these things, and I have never seen as much scrutiny put into something like this. And it's great. And it's great for the city of Cleveland to have these people. They had people flying on all over the country for this event. And what they did was very unacceptable. And I'm embarrassed to say that, I'm a part of that state in that area. I'm not from Cleveland. I don't live there, but still, as an Ohioan, it's embarrassing to say that all these people came here to Ohio. Some people, the first time they've ever been in Ohio, and that's their experience. So pretty frustrating. And really bold move to kick the Missouri Attorney General out of the actual event itself. And that wasn't just the only person. Again, like I said, 3 people got kicked out. And basically, from what I understand, it is a trespass situation. Like, if you guys enter this property, you're going to be trespassed. I don't want you on the property. You guys aren't allowed here, and they had to be removed. So again, we're going to go over all that here in this video. We'll wait a little bit until the numbers jump up here. I don't want to start the whole thing and then people miss it. So we'll give it a couple minutes here. I want to thank the sponsors of the channel and what we do here. 1775 Coffee. Absolutely love these guys. They support Rumble. They've got the tag there. And listen, if you guys like coffee and you like Rumble, why not support them both? Get some coffee. You'll love it. Their ingredients and what they stand for is incredible. That is what I love about 1775 Coffee. I love brands that stand for the stuff that I believe, my morals. And that shows today with what happened at this, or not this today, but yesterday at Guncon. When you support and give your money to people or brands that don't support the things you do, stuff like that happens. So supporting brands that you appreciate and have the same morals as you, 1775 Coffee. Link in the description if you guys want to pick some up for yourself, and you guys can save a bunch of money. It'll either save you 15% off with a link in the description. 1775 Coffee. This is the dark roast. I really got to start buying 1775 Coffee. My wife and I are coffee drinkers. I still buy my coffee from the grocery store. It's so sad. Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Use the link in the description. Go to 1775coffee.com/TA. Save yourself some money on your order and spend your money on brands that support the things you do. And let's discuss what happened at Guncon and why the Attorney General of Missouri, Andrew Bailey, got kicked out. So first, let's just talk about Guncon and kind of what the event it is. It's this really cool event where you have panelists. So actually, I'll just show you guys here. Let's find the website. Had it up. There it is. You guys should be seeing the website here. So you have panelists on here, all different types of people from the gun community. Hey, there's me. Woo, sweet. I was on the panel. And great group of guys, great people all here that come out to talk and speak. And then you have people all over the country that come to this event to see these people. But not only the people there to talk, they have all these other brands here as well. So then you have all these brands that come out here, and it's kind of like an NRA or a SHOT Show, just a smaller version, plus the panels, which is really neat. Now, what happened is you got all these, look at all these great amount of brands. And there's a lot of Ohio brands, which is really cool. I love to see local brands as well. Let's see the people in here. So, legally armed American was kicked from the property. John Patton, he's the one that actually runs the whole thing and makes it happen. Super good guy. Let's see who else got kicked out. Johnny B got kicked out, and Andrew Bailey got kicked out. So switch over here to the camera. They hopefully that actually switched over. Did you guys see? Did that all come through? Let me know if those things. So the owner of the building is Twist Drill. Twist Drill Cleveland is where this was done at. It was this big, older style building, and they agreed to host Guncon. They took the money for the event. They knew well in advance, months and months and months in advance, that this was happening, and they agreed to do it. They took the money and everything. All the panelists were announced. Everyone knew who the panelists were. It's not like it was a big surprise. And then I'm following everyone in the chat because you're all obviously 2A guys. That's a good idea. They came through. Good. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know.
Real quickly, some of you might not have known that I do a live stream, but these have been growing in popularity. So I figured I'd start sharing some of them here on YouTube. Fortunately, I have to edit a decent amount out of them because on Rumble, we're allowed to say a lot of, freedom, but here we're not allowed to say as much. So I got a lot of plans for these live streams, making them more regular and being able to do even more as they continue to grow in popularity. Get a lot more viewers over there, and I'd love for you guys to join and check it out and see what you guys think as well. Usually we do it every Saturday. Sometimes we fluctuate depending on what's going on, but the people that are incredibly helpful here that keep these things going on is Stopbox and Neomag. Love these companies. Stopbox, you're able to have retention and security of the tools that you want to carry, but still have access to, if needed, use this combination, get access to it very quickly, but your bedside or wherever you want to put this, but still know that it's safe from little hands or people that you don't want to touch your stuff. The Neomag just came out with a brand new Gen 2 Neomag. They also have things like the alias system, the Sentry strap, the beltless carry, a lot of stuff there as well. Check them out, show them some love. Let's get right back into this video.
Fast forward to when the event happens. The event happens. Everybody is flown in. They've flown in from all over the place. Now, the actual event is on Saturday, but a lot of us media people and the brands came in on Thursday, maybe even earlier, because they had some things going on. Like there was some social dinners that we went to. There was a range day. There was a lot of things going on before the actual show. So everyone flew in from different states, drove in, traveled, hotels, stays, whatever that is, Airbnbs, and are there. The day of the event, two of the people, Johnny B and Legally Armed. Let me make sure I get his channel 100% right. It's Legally Armed American. So Legally Armed American and Johnny B. Both, as they get there, they are told by the owners of Twist Drill that leased this to John, who ran the event, that they are not allowed on the premises. They're not allowed to be there. So you have all these people that traveled, paid to come to Guncon, traveled to see, potentially to just to meet those guys and wanted to see and hear them talk, stripped away of that because they didn't agree with the things that those people posted on their social media channels, which is absolutely insane. One, if you're going to run a business like that and you're going to allow people to host a venue and you know what's going to be done there, and then at the time of it, then kick those people out. If you're going to do that, at least have the decency to do that, like, at the beginning. Be like, okay, cool, you can do your venue here, but I've seen a couple people that are on there like, we don't agree with what they're doing. We don't want them there. But to do it at the day of, while everybody is there, everyone's spent their money, everyone's traveled, everyone's done these things, they clearly did that maliciously and to cause a lot of not just pain, but financial struggle for people. I mean, we're all in this world together. We all know what the economy is like right now. It's not great to be able to take a days off of work, to travel across the country, to get a hotel. I lived in Ohio, and I still had to take time off of work. I had to drive 2 hours there, 2 hours back, so 4 hours round trip, and had to we got a hotel. So like that, those things cost money. That things take time, and to do that is absolutely insane. So here's the facility that we did it at. I'm gonna switch you guys over so you guys can see that. This is Twist Drill Cleveland LLC. As you can see, they are a 1-star rated place, and what they did this weekend didn't help that. And not only did they kick those two out, they kicked out the Missouri Attorney General, whose name is Andrew Bailey. Here is his account here, and you can see he says, due to the venue's owner's radical transgender ideology. They were scared to hear me speak and requested that I be canceled because I was too dangerous for a firearm convention because I don't allow hospitals to experiment on our children. He's been very vocal about transgenders and shouldn't be doing that to young children. I think a lot of us can agree with that. Pretty wild. But he ended up being kicked away from that facility. I didn't see him here. I talked to a legally armed American outside of the facility, and that's how I found out that he got kicked out. And the thing is, that's not even the only thing that happened here. That's what's the frustrating part. Like, that's not the only thing that happened at this event that was like really shady. The fire marshals were there. They kicked out food trucks. They like because there was food trucks there that John brought in, so everyone had food and everything. It was like a one-stop shop. You go into this place, you had food, you had water all upstairs. There was beverages, there was a bunch of stuff that was available. You had panels to meet all the people that you wanted to come see. You had all these brands that were there. You had all this really cool stuff set up, and they were kicking out food trucks. The fire marshals weren't allowing people, and there were some people that the event started at 10 a.m. It was close to noon, 1 o'clock by the time some people were getting there because the fire marshal wasn't allowing people in the building. I don't know if the place had AC, but if they did, they refused to turn it on. And I really have a hard time, and don't quote me on this because I don't know for sure, but I have a really hard time believing that place didn't have AC of some sort because when you go in the bathrooms, it was like hot or a cold. It was like an ice box. It was cold. It was very cool in the bathrooms. And they host like weddings there. So I had to believe that they had AC, but they either refused to turn it on or wouldn't turn on. I don't know the details on that, but the whole building was very, very hot. And I think it was because of something to do with they refused to turn on some kind of the air circulation or anything. There was just I really have a hard time believing that they would have picked a building to have any kind of air circulation in the size. AC, not necessarily absolutely needed, but like there was no air circulation at all. Like they had to bring big fans in. Like they were bringing in AC units trying to like help get some airflow in there. So again, I didn't. Don't quote me on it because I don't know 100%, but I have to believe that they did something to like not allow airflow in there for people. Let's go back. I'm getting too far ahead of myself. There's a lot that happened that we need to go over. I'm getting a little too excited here. It was frustrating. It was frustrating because I've been to Guncon for 3 years. And Guncon is a very well organized event. And I hate it because I know a lot of people may have been there for the first time and might think, oh, wow, this event was horribly organized. It's not. It is a very well organized event. John and Cody do an incredible job. The previous years I've been to have all been awesome. They, in my perspective as a person attending it, zero issues and had no hiccups. I'm sure always behind the scenes there's hiccups and things that they're like, oh shoot, that could have gone better. Or wait, maybe that, it's something they deflected and that we didn't notice about. But it's frustrating because they were the city, the fire marshals, and the people that they leased the company from were all going after them. And it's really irritating because we were there having a very good event, a very fun event, a very Second Amendment and First Amendment event, being able to it was open to the public. People were allowed to come there and get tickets. So it's not like we were like holding in, like you were not allowed to be here. You were allowed to come in. You were able to ask questions at this panel and stuff. Very, very cool event. And it's just frustrating because the way it was handled by the city and all the people, because it would have been a great location. I mean, I think Cleveland was a great location in the sense that a lot of people were pretty close. There's a lot of airports to fly into. But I'm really disappointed in the city and especially the people that run Twist Drill. I mean, just horrible, horrible people. I don't care what your political views are or what you believe or anything like that. For you to do that maliciously and to cause people financial strain and struggle and ruin this event for all these people. I think there was like 1,200 tickets sold at this event, not including all the people that were hosts or running it, all the people that were selling the products and all that stuff there. Just really, really poor showing from Twist Drill. So coming in here, breaking, an Ohio venue owner has canceled me from speaking. I'll switch you guys over. At Guncon, ironically on the topic of censorship, which is hilarious because I shut down the transgender mutilation clinics in Missouri. I will not be silenced. And then Dave Yost actually got on here, which I'm glad to see. General, I am embarrassed that this happened to you in the Buckeye State, even if it is a private, even if it's a private actor. Please know that the vast majority of Ohioans support American values like free speech. And that's the biggest thing is like if these people that own this place care about freedom of speech, and they clearly would have been like, okay, this is their ability, and they're completely allowed to do this. And if they wanted to, they could have attended the event and they could have asked him questions if they disagreed with him. But they decided to kick him out of there, not allow him in the venue, and ruin it for everybody else that was at the event. And protecting minors from irreversible medical procedures to change their gender as well. So really glad to see he was jumping on there, and I have a feeling that because of the high, like the trying to think of the word, these aren't people with small followings. I mean, he's the Attorney General of Missouri. You have two YouTubers that have hundreds of thousands of followers and subscribers that are pretty big people. So I'm hoping that they share the word on this, and this definitely gets out. And let's actually jump over here to the Google reviews. So we got 122 Google reviews, and they are a 1-star rating here on Google. Let's just run through a couple of these. Wish there was just a 0-star, but this will have to do in order to speak against the attempted censorship of several good American patriots who have some great opinions or great ideas. Avoid these people. Wish there was a 0-star option. 1 star is too high for this place. I would never support this place. To ban the people supporting the good moral values. Banned people for standing and protecting children and their views. We have Attorney General Bailey, Johnny B, and Paul will not be silenced. Yeah, that's a good point here. So you were happy to take their money, but ban them from the building. That's the thing. Is they took everybody's money. They took the venue's money, or they took John's money, and knowing all full and well what this was, and then decided to back out and do this. Here for a national event. Unless you want to deal with the lawyers and lawsuits, stay away from this place. Spend your time and money elsewhere. Yeah, I mean, just really, really bad showing. Yeah, so this is a handful of some of the reviews that happened. So then with the food truck situation, this was so frustrating. We'll get into this. Actually, let me hit up these real quick. So before we get into the food truck situation, what happened there, and we should be back. There we go. Sorry about that. Let me go through some chat real quick, and then we'll hit up the food truck situation. Which again, I've been to a lot of events, a lot of places with food trucks, a lot of events in Cleveland or Columbus or Toledo in my local area and other states, and I've never seen what they did here, and it's really targeted and really frustrating. Let's go through some chat real quick. That was mean spirited and sick. Yes, it was. Is anyone planning on suing them? I don't know. I think the only person that would really, well, I mean, honestly, whoever has the people that have the ability to would probably be the Attorney General. The only downside is it's a private area, and they have the right to be able to say who can and can't come out. It's morally what they did was very, very wrong because of the timing they did it, and they're trying to cause people financial harm and whatnot. I don't know. I'm not an attorney. I would say the Attorney General would be a really good person to ask, and Johnny B, John, depending if he gets his money back. Because I mean, they maliciously ruined his event, and they maliciously did these things in an attempt to ruin his event. I still think, honestly, even though all these negative things happened, I still think the event went really well. Like, yeah, it was hot. Yeah, a lot of these things happened, but I still think the event went well. Like with all those things happening, you should be shocked the event even continued. You'd think the whole thing would have shut down with how bad these guys tried to ruin the event. So I could see John having some leg to stand on because they accepted their money. They knew what the event was. They had a whole list of the people that were going to be there. I mean, John has been promoting this. He pushed it all of his an entire website associated with it. And for them to not let people do that and like lose money out and cause the actual brand money, I could see him having a lawsuit. I don't know if they will. That's going to be a personal decision on him. It looks like things didn't work out and being jerks. Rating being a 1. The rating being a 1-star now. Yeah, I'm hoping more people get on. I hope people or continue to rate that. I hope everybody that was at that event rates that place and gives them their honest opinion of the place because horrible what they did. Wistro Cleveland. Here it is again, if you guys want to see it. Wistro Cleveland LLC is where this was. They host weddings. They host events like this all the time. And clearly not doing a great start on Google reviews. And if you're like me, I check out Google reviews a lot. So not a good start for them. That's messed up. Probably why they have a low rating. Yeah, I mean, you don't get a rating like that for being Great people. Sounds like the town planned the attack, and then I really do think that there was a few people planned that. I do. Like I said, I've been to events before. I've never seen so many people coming after an event like this, like it was here. Really, really embarrassed as an Ohioan that that happened. Sounds like a lawsuit situation. Yeah, I mean that's really going to come down to them, and what they want to do. I'm on the town planning board. The town tried to shut you guys down. Yep, I would imagine they did. Were there any violations of contract, and did the venue do this organically, or did someone outside the venue coerce them to reject this even? So like I said earlier, John and Cody did a really good job of putting a buffer between everyone at the event and the things that were going on. So the only reason I knew these things were going on is because I went out and when I was outside, I went down to the food trucks and I saw the food trucks getting kicked out. Which again, we haven't talked about that yet. Which I'll talk about after we talk about our sponsors in a second. I watched the food truck get kicked out, so I was like, "What in the world is that?" So I talked to John and Cody out there, and they brought up some things. And then I walked out to eat my food, and I was out there with legally armed American, and he was like, "Yeah, I just got kicked out." And so we talked with him, and then I started piecing everything together. So John and Cody did a really good job of buffering all that and keeping us unaware as much as possible. So I don't know the full details of that side, but I'll be interested to see. I know John is going to be releasing a full statement on his YouTube channel, so the Gun Collective is where you guys will be able to see that full statement. Let's get into the fact that they kicked out the food trucks, which I thought was pretty insane. So the fire inspector comes out, and I go outside, and I honestly thought these guys were like attending the show. You had some cops and a fire inspector and everything. I was cool, like they came out to see the show and stuff. Well, no, they didn't. The fire inspector, from what I was told, I did not watch this part, but I was told by numerous people out there, they said he had a meter and he was going to each trucks and checking their propane release level or some kind of thing they were releasing from the vehicles, making sure the levels was low. I heard that's from multiple people. I did not personally witness this. So I just to clarify, not personally witness this. They told me that he was going around with a meter to every truck that was there, making sure that some kind of level was correct. You cannot tell me that this guy goes to every single event in Cleveland and does this. I promise you he does not. So the fact that he came here, did that, and then he kicked a food truck off the place. So now you have a food truck that took time out of their day and paid money or whatever that I'm sure they have to have credentials and all these other things they have to do to be able to get in there. They took time out of their day. They had a crew in that truck. They kicked them off the facility. So they were out there trying to intentionally get the food trucks out of there so people don't have food to eat. Let's put ourselves in legally armed Americans' shoes. He gets invited to this event to be on a panel. He's very excited. He promotes to his viewers. He says, "Hey guys, like I did. I say, hey, I'm going to be at this event in Cleveland. I would love to meet you guys. Come to the show. I'm going to be speaking and I'm going to be walking the floor. I'd love to meet you all." So say some people are like, "Sweet, I want to come see him and everything." So he promotes this to his viewers. He puts out there that this event's going on. He's going to be there. He then buys flight tickets, fly to this event. Takes time off of work if he has to. I don't know if he works or what his situation is. Takes time off of work, whatever he has to do. Takes time away from his family for sure. Flies all the way out here, and then finds out as he's about to pull into the parking lot, you're not allowed up here. So then he just has to figure out what else to do the rest of the day and just kind of chill. He bought Airbnb, hotel, all that situation, and then has to wait for his flight the next day to fly back to get home. What a frustrating event for him. Now put yourselves in the shoes of a viewer that was there and wanted to attend the show. You watch one of your favorite YouTubers, legally armed Americans, your favorite YouTuber, and you're like, "Man, he's going to be at this event. I would love to take the time and go to this." So you take some time off of work, you set up with your family to get time away from them, or you bring your family with you, or whatever the situation. You fly out there, you drive out there, you get a hotel, you're super excited. You get to the event, and there's this really long line, and you're like, "Okay, that's fine. There's a line, not a big deal." Like there's a lot of people that want to do this, and the fire marshal is preventing people from going in. I don't know if I mentioned that yet, but the fire marshal was preventing people from going into the building. So now you're not allowed to come in because you're waiting for people to come out and everything so you can actually go in. So you're waiting for a really long time. And then you get in there and you find out that your favorite YouTuber, the person you actually came for, kicked out and isn't allowed to be there because the person that owns the building didn't like their reviews. So then you're like, "Okay, this is all super frustrating. I really had a bad day." And then you go out to get a food ticket because they provided food, and you get your food ticket to go eat, and they're kicking freaking food trucks. Like it just gets worse the more you think about it. And like, it just frustrates me. And I had no like I had no skin in the game. Like, I was just there attending because, I was on the panel and I had a great time and to hang out with everybody and see all my friends and reconnect and connect with people that were there. Maybe viewers here that are in the live stream maybe were there. If you were there, I'd love to hear your opinion. But and then this all happens and it's just super, super frustrating. So let's go through some chat here. Twist drill set John up for failure, pure unadulterated. Oh crap. Yeah, no, I agree. I think personally, and I don't have 100% facts on this. I think they did this intentionally. I think that John reached out to him, was like, "Hey, I would love to have this event there." They looked into the event. They're like, "Guncon, okay," and they immediately decided like, "We don't agree with this. We're gonna try to ruin this event." I think they did this and accepted his money. That's the worst part is they still took his money. They took his money and they're not giving it back. Now later down the road, depending on what happens here, they might give it back, but I don't think they will. But they did this obviously intentionally to help him try to set him up for failure. Now, the benefit for John, and this is the one thing that I think is going to save him because this could really ruin somebody. If I did this and this was my first event, man, I would never do an event again. John has done previous events before, and his events are awesome. Like if you've been to Guncon before, you know it's a really, really good event. So, that is what's saving him right now is the fact that like everyone knows John does a really good job. This was not a screw up on John's part. This was an attack on him, trying to make him fail, and trying to cause a lot of problems for him. So that is the one saving grace. He's done events before. All those events have been amazing, and everyone really likes Guncon, and Guncon's growing, and you could see that. There's a reason people like Guncon. So Guncon started out in Iowa at Brownells. It's a pretty small event, the first one, but a really, really fun. That was his very first time doing an event like that. So it was like, okay, cool. Like he did a really good job for his first one. The second one, you could see where he improved a lot. It doubled in size. It went from 500 people to 1,000 people. It was like, okay, cool. Like that doubled. Really, really neat. Bigger, more people, more vendors, more everything. Everything was bigger and better. Skip into this year. Then this all happens. But you could see it was growing. It was getting big. This year even had even more. So it was more people and it had more I can't think the name of the company. The people that pay to be there that have their like booth set up. I don't know why I can't think of the name of that. But there was even more of those as well. So actually, no, I could just see right here what it's called. The sponsors of the thing. So there was even more sponsored booths. So it's clearly getting bigger and better as time goes on. Okay. There has to be something that can be done to get the funds back. I would agree. I think there would have to be something. I mean, but I don't know. The thing is, I'm sure he signed some kind of lease agreement where they have the right to refuse anybody there. Because as annoying as it is, they're legally allowed to refuse people. I don't know how, though, if you lease a space, they can pick and choose out of your car. Like, so if I lease a building for my wedding, are they then allowed to be like, I went through your venue. I don't like that person's views. He said something bad about babies. I don't like that person. He's a right-wing person. That person. Get them all out of here. Get them all out of here. Like, I don't know. Like, there's got to be something there. Like, I don't think a venue owner can just start booting people. Like, maybe they can. Maybe people are just like actually good people and don't do that. But the owners of Twist Drill are clearly not good people. Like, they are clearly very, very bad people. I don't care what your political beliefs are. That's the thing. I don't care what like. I can disagree with you, but I'm not gonna attack you in this. Like the way they did it was just terrible. Should have been some language in the contract that controls things like this. Yeah, and I don't know, and that's something we're not going to know. That's going to be only what John and the Twist Drill will be able to go over because they would know the contract language. I'm glad it still went well despite these people. Yeah, no, and the event did go well. Like I said, there's obviously hiccups. It was and he can't control the fact that it was 96 degrees out in Ohio. Like it's just the weather was hot. He can't control the fact that if they didn't have AC and they did do the circulation, I still think they did that on purpose. But again, I just don't quote me on that part, but I do think they did that on purpose. So he can't control that. You know, he can't control the weather. That it was crazy hot. Other than that, like I would rather be hot than cold or hot than like storming and people were getting rained on. Like it was beautiful. It was super sunny and nice. It was just really, really hot. So yeah, the event went well for as bad as it could have been because of what these people were doing. Prove how low the left will go. Yep. And I don't. If these were right wing people that did that, I would still be frustrated if they picked and choose someone from the left. Like if we had somebody that was left leaning or like a left speaker and a right wing company did this and remove those people, I would be irritated. Like, you can't do that. Like, let that person come and speak. Like, I don't have to listen to it. I don't have to agree with it. That's fine. But if they're there to speak, they paid money to be there. People paid to see them. Like, they should be able to speak as long as they're not doing anything like hateful, hurt. Like, I mean, you can still speak, I guess, whatever you want. But like, as long as they're not like actually physically harming somebody with what they're saying, but or like inciting like a riot. But like, let them be able to speak. It's crazy. I know that guy was mad because we had to pay to get his food truck into event. I have one myself. He's probably teed off. I would be teed off too because he probably paid a decent amount of money to be there and expecting to get a decent amount in return. And he got nothing. He just got booted. And he probably took time off of whatever he was doing. And he had workers there that he has to pay. Sponsors, vendors, thank you very much for clearing out the name. I don't know why I could not think of that. Should have checked chat sooner. So, yep, super irritating. And I just wanted to kind of share my view on that. I know a lot of people have been asking, and there was a lot of frustration outside. You could hear some people that were mad about things and they just didn't know what was happening. So I'm hoping the people that were there that maybe left early because they didn't know what was happening and maybe they thought that like John was causing these issues. Like, I was just hoping to just shed some light on the whole situation and the event and allow people to know what really happened. Yeah, they had multiple different event spaces. This is the building itself. I'm guessing that's probably one of the owners. Is that a big coffee machine? You know where you shouldn't get your coffee? Twist Drill. You know what you should get your coffee? 1775 coffee. Most definitely don't get your coffee at Twist Drill. Get it from 1775 coffee. Link in the description. 1775coffee.com/TA. That's going to save you guys 15% off. That's where I would get my coffee, not at Twist Drill or anywhere else. If you guys were at the event at Twist Drill, make sure you guys leave an honest review of what you think about Twist Drill on their thing. And I appreciate you all. Have a great rest of your Sunday and a great rest of your week. Be safe.